because I have a headphone, but that's not working really.
You're live. Hey, it's Kim Sandberg with
I'm
Johnny
John.
Marcus. Sorry, Johnny.
That's me.
Welcome to Alive here at Handy Quilter headquarters. We are so excited to take you on part 2 of the tour. Today we're actually downstairs. Education's normally upstairs.
Yes.
And we wanted to show you some of the quilts down here. So first we want to start with quilts that we have hanging here actually above our heads, right?
Yep. Quilts on railing.
These quilts are all made and quilted by Sarah Watts. She is the VP of Product Development.
Yes.
Is that correct? She's super awesome, good friend, does a lot of quilting. You can see all of her beautiful quilts that she has up here. We have these quilts here, we just change out probably quarterly or so,
quarterly,
Johnny, right? Yeah. And we usually have, these quilts are kind of somebody in the company that has something fun that they want to show. We also have another really great quilt just up the staircase here. I want Kayla to turn and get a shot of. This is our quilt. And this quilt is so big that this was the only place in the building we could hang it. It's huge. And this was made by all of the people who were involved in the anti-quilt campaign. They each sent in a block. And then Jan Nancy, who is an amazing quilter and artist, went through and pieced this all together and quilted it. I know that Nicholas Churchman also helped with some of the quilting. And the pictures and everything are from when they did their big retreat here. So that's a really fun memory that we have, that whole team there with that big, beautiful quilt. So here in the lobby, it's really fun because we just have this big open space and we've got lots of quilts. So let's start by walking over here.
Did you want to show that one?
Yeah, I want to show this one. This one is such a fun one. This is called Paisley Promise by Becca and Nemish. And this quilt is silk ducati. So it's a beautiful silk fabric. And you can see right along here, she's got this beading that's actually covered by the silk. And then there's a little stitch holding each one of those in place. Some super intricate work. It's just an absolutely beautiful quilt. Such a fun little mini. That's actually one of the ones that would have came from an auction probably at Quilt Market.
Yeah.
In Houston. We always purchase quilts there. So this is the Handy Quilter lobby. When you walk in, these are actually the doors that you come in when you come in to see us. And we're going to head down the hallway this way.
Oh, show this one quick.
Yeah, let's show this one. So this, some of you may have actually seen this recently featured on Handy Quilter Facebook page and Instagram page. So this is pieced and quilted by Kathy Zimmerman. Kathy's held a lot of different positions here at Handy Quilter, hasn't she? This is all Pro Stitcher, and Kathy made this when she was in testing, and you can see that she was testing really cool designs, but she did such, I mean, this quilting is just the bomb. It's awesome. Such a fun, easy stroke quilt.
Back up a little bit and show the whole thing.
And the quilting just makes all of it pop. So it's called Beads and Pods, once again by Kathy Zimmerman. So such a fun quilt. Right back here, we have a really fun one that Christina made. So most of you know Christina Whitney, and she calls this Stars and Strips. And she actually pieced this entire quilt on the long one. So she started by putting this one down, or she pieced strips, and she put this one down, and she quilted all of it. It's a really fun technique that she does. Fun little quilt. As we start moving down the hallway here, this is the customer relations area. And we've got the lovely ladies that answer the phone when you call and have questions. And we actually have one of our awesome people here. This is Amy.
Amy, turn around.
Amy's a quilter. And she actually has a quilt that she's working on today. And I convinced her to share it with all of us. So Amy, if you don't mind, let's take a look here. I can hold this up. This is such a beautiful quilt that she's working on. Look at this. This is soon to be hanging on the walls here. And Amy, how did you make this quilt?
It was just all applique.
It's all applique.
All applique. It was just a kit off of connecting threads.
Awesome.
So
And you quilted this with your Pro Stitcher, right?
Yes.
Yep. fun quilt. We have lots of quilters that work here, which is really fun.
Glenn, go on through.
Oh, yeah, Glenn. Come on through, Glenn.
This is our Glenn, one of our engineers.
Yes. Down here, I've got one of the quilts I want to show you. This one is one made by Eldridge. And we have a local show here, actually sadly is no more, called UQSN. And we would always have a fabric challenge. And this is one of the quilts from the fabric challenge. You would get a certain amount of fabric that you had to use and make the quilt. And then it was donated and purchased for charity. And we usually would buy, as a company, we usually buy a collection of these to use in shows. So you may have seen this in the past. Beautiful quilts by Eldridge. Now I want to show you guys, we're going to sneak in here to Amber's office.
Try giving Kim your
What we've got.
Okay, hold on.
And this one's actually, I love that it's Amber's office. It's called Dreaming of Amber. And it's by Carly Porter. And this is all free motion. If you're familiar with her at all, she does her graffiti quilting. And how fun is this with all the different colors and textures? This is all quilting just on a piece of muslin. Isn't that cool,
Yeah,
Jimmy?
Carly does such a good job.
She does such a good job.
Kim, we're having complaints of your microphone not working.
Oh, no.
I know, I thought it was mine. So
Okay.
we're just going to stay close
Okay.
to one another
Okay.
the rest of this trip.
That sounds great. That sounds great. We're going to head down the hallway here and see if we can show you a few other.
People are running away. Don't run.
You
Just
can you can just
you're
scoot
fine.
back. No problem. This is a special quilt that we received from Mary Beth Crapel. She quilted it. And this is actually quilted by a guild that she's a member of. And
Yeah.
if you'll look carefully, you can see that there's signatures all over this quilt by different guild members, the little blocks that they made. So you can see there's another signature there. So it's like a classic signature quilt. And some really fun quilting on it. It was actually a quilt that was made as a thank you. I should show you guys the label.
We show 'em the
on
back?
this one. Yeah, we'll show them the label. Look at how cool that is. So it says, with all our love and deepest appreciation for the opportunity to touch countless lives with your most generous gift. So very fun. Really fun quilt.
Okay, here.
Are we gonna swap?
Yeah, let's swap.
Okay. Is that better? We'll
Can you
see.
hear Kim better now?
Hopefully everybody can hear me better now. Sorry, we're one of these days we're gonna get this sound thing figured out. I promise. Seems like we just get it figured out and something changes. So, okay. Let's move on down this way. Are we getting thumbs up?
No thumbs up yet. but we'll keep
Okay. Okay. So this is another quilt that's quilted by Mary Beth Crapel. She is one of our national educators. She lives in North Carolina. This is one from the Vintage Made Modern. And it's a vintage quilt quilted in a modern way. And this one, she really had some fun with this. You can see that there's all different motifs and designs quilted in this one. It's really great. Okay. All right, let's move on down to this next one. This is actually a recent quilt that just came to Handy Quilter. This is quilted by Adam of Adam's So Fun, Adam Ratliff. And this is another one of our Vintage Made Modern. And what a fun quilt. I think this is one that we almost arm wrestled over when we were trying to decide who was going to get the quilts. He did such a great job on this. This quilting is just beautiful. You see a lot of really nice detail work. I had a lot of fun white space to play with. So what a fun quilt. All right, well, let's sneak around the corner here and see what's down this hallway. We actually have kind of a fun treat. So this is the door out to production. This is where we build all of the machines. So we'll let you guys come and take a peek. We've actually got, oh, we've got Ashley on the other side of the door, but you can take a peek out here and kind of get a feel. This is where all of the Handy Quilter machines come into existence. So this is where your machine was built. All right, let's take a little detour here into Scott's office. So we've got a fun, hey Scott, we've got a fun quilt here from another one of our national educators. This is from Gina Simbita. She lives in California. And it's another one of our vintage made modern quilts. Really a fun quilt. Scott actually got to come up and pick, and this is the one he picked, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the perks of working here, you get to pick your wall art. Makes it fun. Let's take a look right here at this one. This is one of my favorites. I love this quilt. I love this quilt. This is quilted by Karen Marchetti. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And it's called Sidewalk Chalk. And when I saw the title and then I started looking at the quilt, I was like, oh, this is exactly like sidewalk, like chalk on sidewalk with the fun color. So she used a fun variegated thread, and that's where all the color in this quilt comes from. It's just from the quilting. It's just so fun. A lot of nice detail work, a lot of micro stitching. It just has such fun texture. We really love this quilt. So, okay, coming down this way, we've got another one of our quilts from our Vintage Made Modern collection. And this one is quilted by Amy Domke. She lives in Oregon, just outside of Portland. And she really did some fun stuff. Amy loves quilting vintage quilts, and she always just does such a good job. She really had some fun with this. I love her little flying geese going down the side here, how that goes in and out. She's got her lines here and then lines out here. It's really such a simple border, but it really just makes it pop with those flying geese just tracking right through there. So that's a fun one. And then this one, oh, another really great one. This is by Patty Kearns. It's called When the Stars Come Out. And this one, the way that she quilted it just made these stars pop.
Yeah, that's awesome.
She didn't actually quilt inside the stars, so you can see that they literally pop. And they look faceted anyway because of the fabric choice. Once again, this is a vintage top. We don't know who made it, but Patty really did a great job putting neat detail around it to really just make those beautiful stars pop. And if you look really carefully, you can actually see that these stars are hand stitched. You can see the little bit of hand stitching right along that edge there. So this quilt was probably hand pieced. What a quilt. Oh, just beautiful. All right.
What's that?
Oh, do we have some comments to talk about?
We have lots of good comments.
Oh, good. Good. Do we have any questions?
No questions so far.
No questions. Okay. If anybody does have questions, be sure and type those in there. Johnny and Kayla are keeping an eye on those. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions. So let's come on down this way. This is the hallway down towards the lunchroom. Here is our Quilt Your Desire campaign. So we have a lot of these fun, these are all the ads that ran in magazines, you guys can see. And we actually have quilts from a lot of these people hanging here. A lot of the people I was just talking about, Amy and Adam and Lana. Christina's in here. She's right up there at the top. So we've got a lot of people that you're probably familiar with. So if we come down this way, we've got another one from that. I told you the local quilt show would do the fabric challenge. So this is from 2016, and it's actually made by a group of quilters. And this is using the fabric, and I know this because I have some of this fabric. It's actually a Jane Austen collection that Riley Blake did. And how cute that they did little cups of tea to go with the Jane Austen fabric. That one's really fun. This quilt's unique. It has the corners are actually, they're not square, they're cut off. I don't know exactly what you call that, but it's just a fun, it actually echoes this part of the piecing. So yeah, we can kind of see that there. Oh, and there's Sarah.
Sarah, we were just talking about your quilt.
We were just talking about your quilts. All the ones hanging in the gallery.
Just wave to Sarah.
So just,
wave to the camera.
this is Sarah Watts. She's the one that made all the quilts that are hanging in the gallery. Awesome quilter. Yeah. Here's one more quilt that's from that collection. We have another one with a Jane Austen theme, and aren't these so cute? They are little houses, and each one of them has a little button on it that looks like a little doorknob. Isn't that fun? Some really fun detail on this one. And let's see who's this one. I have to look here and see. So Kendra Lapp, Lorena Graham, and Babette Watts are the quilters that made this and quilted this quilt. It's really a fun quilt. So In here, so just behind us here is the lunchroom. I'm going to walk you guys in here. This is actually kind of fun. This is the lunchroom for everybody. I'm gonna do a little cameo appearance here. This is my husband, Ryan Sandberg.
Where's oh, me.
Say hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone.
We've got a couple of really cool quilts in here. These ones are ones that were actually for an Alzheimer's illustrated from Heartbreak to Hope. It was Ami Sims and volunteers made these, and each one of these strips have signatures of people who donated. And it's in memory of all these people. I believe that most of the people who are actually written on here either have family members who were affected by Alzheimer's, or the name of the person who was affected by Alzheimer's is on here. And you can see that we bought a few of these strips in here as a reminder. They're really pretty. Some beautiful quilting on them. Very simple, but very impactful. We have one other quilt in here. This is a really fun one that we have. This is actually a quilt from a high school in Idaho, and it is a thank you. They actually have, I believe they have an HQ16. Do you know for sure, Johnny? Oh, no, actually, hang on a second. This one, it's from Illinois. I got it wrong. Wrong I-state. It's made by the Campus Middle School for Girls from Urbana, Illinois, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
And they sent us this as well.
Yeah, and so it had a thank you note with a picture, and there's actually a pocket on the back of it that they had this thank you note and picture in. So we hung it down here so that we could display this part also. And it really is, it's such a fun quilt. So fun to see the next generation getting excited about quilting, having an opportunity to learn how to do that art. So let's go ahead and head on out of here. We'll let everybody else. Mary Lou says.
You all have your very own quilting center.
We do. We totally
And we
do.
give tours.
And we do. We give tours. So stop by. We'll head out this way. We'll head back down and we'll grab the other side of the hall now. So, okay. This is the quilt from Idaho. I knew there was a quilt from Idaho. So this quilt was made by the Council Idaho students as a thank you to Handy Quilter, and they have a Handy Quilter up there. I actually, let's see, I don't think this one has a label on it. Oh, it's right there. Okay. I actually used to live very close by here and was involved with a quilt shop in Weiser, Idaho. And the owner, whose name is Judy Page, her mom, or Judy's actually from this area, Council, and she would always talk about this machine that they had up there. So it's really fun to have this here. A reminder, thank you from the students. They really did a good job on that one. Next we have, this is Technical Solutions, and this quilt has special meaning right here. It says Technical Solutions, and if you read the writing in here, it's all the things that we say to customers who are having issues. Do you have skip stitches? Is it turned on? Anyway, we had some fun with this. Kathy Zimmerman made this quilt with some fun sayings that the lucky people in Technical Solutions get to say often to quilters. And here's a...
Somebody asked my employees.
Yeah, so what a great place to work. How many employees
Yeah.
do you have?
Around 100, isn't it? Around 100 people work here at Handy Quilter, building machines and doing that. Here's just a little peek. This is Technical Solutions. So if you're calling in, we've got JP right there is waving at you. It looks like everybody else, well, and we've got Sadie there in the corner too. I think everybody else is probably out to lunch, right?
No, they work remotely.
Oh, that's right. Oh, hey, we'll get in here. So here's Ken right up here. Do you guys see Ken? This is Ken. He works remotely. And there's Dawn. Hey, you guys, say hi to everybody. So they're lucky. They get to work from home in their pajamas if they want to. And we always wave when we walk by. So Technical Solutions, this is where it's at. Next, here's another fun quilt that we have here. This is actually by Amy Lossie, who you guys met just a few minutes ago. She made that really cute hummingbird quilt. This is another quilt that we have hanging here that she did. This one's fun. She really likes applique, as you can tell. This one has applique on it also. She quilted this on her amate that she has at home. Okay, let's see. We've got Oh, and here's a really sweet quilt. This is by Vicki Hoth. It's probably one of the last quilts we actually still have by Vicki, right? Yeah, she didn't take this one, but this is such a cute one. This little spring quilt. She has some fun little quilting in there. So just a really fun, cute quilt. Some applique, lots of thread work. It's a really fun quilt. All right, next. Hey, Gary.
Hello.
We're going to move down this way. We have two really cool maps here in our hallway. Let's show you our cool maps. So first of all, this one is international retailers, or when people have visited internationally, they put a pin in here for us. So you can see that we actually have retailers all over the world, don't we, Johnny?
Yes.
Yep. And this green one here, this is us at Handy Quilter headquarters. And then you can see all the other places that we have retailers all over the world. And then we have the big map of the US, and it's got a little bit of Canada up there too. These are all of our retailers nationwide. And this is always really fun to look at and see all the different places that we have retailers. Whenever we do retailer training, it seems like they always come down and check to make sure that they've got a pin in, right, Johnny?
I always check.
They always check. Okay, this is our main conference room, and we actually have some really fun pieces in here. So we can just kind of scoot chairs out of the way. This is one by Margot Clabo, who I have had the fun opportunity to be on the phone with a bit, answering some questions for her with designer. But this is such a fun piece. She made this in, oh, actually, it doesn't have it has a date on the back, I'm sure. Margot is a show quilter. She does absolutely amazing work. Looking at this quilt this first time, I realized she actually has piping in the piecing. Like, we often see the piping here, like on the binding, but the piping and the piecing, that's just, it's awesome. Such a beautiful quilt, such beautiful texture that she's quilted into that one. Next up, we have one of Kelly's Dream Big panels here. Such a fun quilt. We actually have, I think we have two of her Dream Big panels in the building right now. Yeah, such a fun one. And of course, it's all free motion, beautifully quilted. Kelly does such a good job with those. Coming on around here, we have the quilt that's called the Silk Quilt. And we don't know who made this one, which is kind of rare for our collection. It doesn't have a label on it, but this is all silk and used a beautiful variegated thread and then a blending thread in the background for all the blending work. I mean, the colors of thread in this are just gorgeous. It is just an absolutely beautiful quilt. Really, really fun. Over here, we've got one by Judy Woodworth, and this one's actually framed. It's gorgeous. Look at that cord work around the outside. And all those teeny, teeny, tiny little stitches. It's just a beautiful. It's called Harp in Minor. So it kind of has that feeling of a harp. It's a beautiful quilt. Beautifully framed. And here's another one that is framed also. This is by Sherry Rogers Harrison, and it's called Lancaster Star. And it is gorgeous. I do believe it's painted. When you look at it, you can see that it's stitched and then it's been painted. It's absolutely beautiful. The detail work on that. It's just gorgeous. And over here, we have a couple of quilts by Helen Gauden. We actually have a few more quilts down here too. This one is called Golden Poppies. And this is one that she made. I know that she does this technique actually with bleach. So she starts with black fabric and then she paints with bleach and creates that design and then quilts it and just makes it look absolutely gorgeous. And that one's called Golden Poppies. This one is called the Green Tree Frog, also by Helen Gauden. And of course, it's painted with her trademark paints that she uses. It's absolutely beautiful. She just does such great. And she always quilts her name into it. I don't know if you guys can see actually her name right there in green. It says Helen Gauden. That's often how she signs her name. So Helen Gauden right there. So fun.
So Ruth says, in my dreams, I will become half as good as these wonderful quilters.
I know. We are so lucky to have all of this inspiration around us all the time. We absolutely love that. We're so lucky. We are so lucky. All right, let's come on out here. There's one here on the corner, and then we're going to go back and I'll show you some of the other fun ones. So this is Baby Rose Mandala by Camiko Fridell, and I probably completely slaughtered that name, but you guys can see it there. Look at how tiny. This quilt is probably, what, 12 inches square? I mean, it's just small, and look at that detail, that teeny, teeny, tiny little meander, all of that work. Once again, it's all, I mean, that's just absolutely beautiful. I believe it's even like painted or something. It's just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So we've been down that hallway. Let's come back in here into the lobby and we'll go over to the other side and show you a few more quilts. 26. Okay, perfect. All right. So right here we do have some machines set up in the lobby here. So if you come in and you want to try out a machine, you sure can. We've got a Moxie and we've got a Forte and then a Mara with a Pro Stitcher set up on the frame here so that everybody can check that out. And back here in the background, we actually have a quilt made by Christina Whitney. And this is such a fun quilt. This is one that she had a lot of fun quilting. She played a lot with thread on it. And I have to show you guys the back of this one because the back is so fun. You can see all the different thread colors that she used. And Christina's probably gonna not be the fact that I'm showing you the back of this one, but the back of this one is just so cool. We absolutely love it. Yeah. We have a great quilt right here by Elaine Marlar, and it's called Margaritas by the Yard. And it is such an awesome Lone Star. And then the quilting in it, she's really built. She used a lot of metallic thread in this. And metallic thread, it just gives that sparkle and pop. It's absolutely beautiful. All those different colors. She had a little extra right there along that edge there to make it pop. This is all made with batik. It's just a beautiful, beautiful quilt. And another fun one here by Jody Robinson. Such fun texture. This is one I keep looking at going, oh, I want to do something inspired by. I love this. All those circles. This is a fun quilt. It shows how impactful, just really simple. I mean, you can see that she just did different circles of different sizes and then straight lines. That's all she did with the quilting, but it really, very impactful. So let's walk down this way. Okay, we're gonna sneak in here.
Hey, Derek. Can we come in?
Okay, you're okay. We're actually filming. We want to show him this. Is that okay? Yeah. So I wanted to show you a quilt in here that's in Darren's office. He's the president and CEO of Handy Quilter. This is called Missoula, Montana by Helen Gauden, and Helen actually made this for you, right?
She did.
Yeah. And she couched the whole thing. I mean, this is so beautiful. Darren's actually from Montana, so Helen was inspired by that. And
Helen also helped us design or come up with the design for the couching foot for our machine.
exactly. Yep. She helped with that design, and she is a master at using it. 100%. We've got, yeah. Johnny, come over here and you tell him about this one.
So I love the work of Noriko Endo. She's from Japan. And I saw her on Alex Anderson TV like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I was just starting out. But I just love the way she does. She does like this really interesting confetti quilting, I think.
Confetti piecing, yeah.
Yeah, so she like lays down a base and then she just shreds fabric and lays it down and then she stitches over the top. And I just love her work. And we have two of them here in the building.
Yeah, we do.
This one's in Darren's office.
The other one's in Mark's, right?
The other one's in Mark's office.
Yeah.
Just go back a little bit.
Yeah.
Show the whole thing.
We can look at this here, yeah.
So again, her name is Noriko Endo.
Yeah. And that one's called Reflections #2 from 2013. Such a beautiful quilt. All right, well, thanks for letting us. But oh yeah, we can take a look at these ones over here. Yeah. So we've got this one by Sherry Reynolds. Such a fun mandala design. Look at that tiny, beautiful little stitching. So fantastic. So Sherry's won Best of Show at Houston twice. And this is one I'm sure we probably picked up at the auction at, or did she give it to us?
This one she made for me.
Oh, see, Darren knows people in high places. So she made this one specifically for him. And then this is another one by Carly Porter with her fun graffiti quilting. It's called In Full Bloom. Carly probably made that one for you too, right?
Well, I think that was just her doodling.
Yeah.
After work, and then we took it and put a border on it.
It's perfect. It's so fun. Yeah. We're so lucky to have such beautiful art, aren't we? All right. Thanks, Darren. All right. Let's show you just a couple more, and then I think we're going to about hit time. So this is called Rainy Day by Anna Faustino. And this one is so fun because this is actually cutaway applique. So you can see that this dark green over the top of it is cut away to expose the fabric that's underneath it to create that. I can't even imagine how much time that took. It's just amazing. Really simple, but super impactful. Okay, let's come in here.
Have you seen this one?
Yes,
This thread.
this one is amazing. So this isn't actually a quilt, but it's made out of thread. When you get up really nice and close, you can actually see all the little pieces, the little stitching to create that design. And I'm not sure, this one doesn't have a label, and I'm not sure exactly where that's from, but it's so amazing. It's essentially embroidered is what it is. Yeah. It's absolutely beautiful. We've got a couple more over here. Let's look at this one, the Egyptian Tent Maker Quilt. And this is a gift from AQS. And these are just gorgeous. These are actually made by, do you know the story behind this one? I know that Brenda told me once. They are made by Egyptian tent makers, I do believe. Like actually, people from Egypt make these. And you can see that this has a little bit of a different construction. They live in a really warm climate, so there's actually no batting in this. So if you look on the back, it's like a canvas, okay? You can see the stitching that's coming through there. But the front of it is just like a quilting cotton that has been really carefully and beautifully hand stitched down, hand appliqued onto that canvas backing. So a neat tradition from a different culture with another way of quilting. It's all hand done, absolutely beautiful. So Johnny, do we have any other questions?
No.
Okay.
She says, okay, the men who make these demo how they do it at the AQS show.
Oh, really? Okay. So we just found out, somebody commented that the man that makes these ones, this Egyptian tent maker one, he actually demoed it at the AQS show in the past. So perhaps in the future, we'll be able to get onto that again. Well, I know I just got a little beep. We've been on for about our allotted time. Is that correct? So I just want to say thank you. I'll have Johnny come over here by me. Johnny, come over here on this side. We just want to say thanks for joining us. We'll definitely, there's actually still probably at least another, hour of footage. We'll be sure and do another one of these in another month or two probably. But we just want to say thanks for joining us. Be sure and give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and most of all, have fun quilting this week. We'll see you next week.